Welcome everybody to this video where I'll be taking you through the new automated payment scripts that the DNotes team have developed. These scripts allow people with little technical knowledge to sell and deliver digital products automatically by making use of our automated invoicing system. And in the first part of the video, I'll be going through the advantages of using the payment scripts compared to traditional payment methods that are frequently used, and then later on in the video I'll be showing a demonstration of these scripts which you can go and test yourself. So I'm currently on the DNotes forum and you can see a whole list of the benefits here, but I'm going to scroll down a little bit to this part of the page which has a head-to-head comparison of the DNotes automated payment scripts versus typical merchant service providers. So one of the first things that should immediately stand out is the massively reduced fees for using the service. So there's only 0.005 DNotes per transaction. That is like a fraction of a cent compared to most merchant services providers, which could be anywhere up to 3.5 percent depending on the amount of transactions that you're processing. In terms of account setup and approval, there is no requirement to set up any account or registrations or anything like that. So it's incredibly simple. There's no specialized knowledge required compared to it could take several days for a merchant to set up automated payment software on their website, compared to it just takes a couple of minutes. There is complete automatic delivery of the digital product, which is often allowed in typical merchant providers, but not in all cases. And one of the key advantages are that there are no middlemen. So it completely disintermediates the service to just a process of selling a good directly to a buyer without having to have any other third party provider involved. And that's often where all the additional fees and stuff come from. One of the other really cool things that this will enable is the ability to do microtransactions. So these would be very, very tiny payments. Like, for example, you could send 1 cent. You can make a payment to somebody of like 10 cents or 1 cent. And these would not be possible using, say, you know, traditional credit cards or anything like that, because the fees just to use that would probably be a minimum of, let's say, 75 cents. So if you wanted to sell your product for 10 cents, it's going to be like an 85-cent transaction, and that's just not really feasible. Whereas with this solution, you will be able to charge fractions of a cent to people. So one example use case would be creating or distributing video content and charging people by the second. So you could have, you know, um, a tenth of a D note per second watched or something. And that kind of gives people a really interesting and creative way to distribute and sell their content. Going forward, the payments are completely borderless. You can accept them from anywhere in the world, whereas most payment processing systems do have country restrictions placed on them. The hosting requirements are pretty much nothing. You don't require any sort of like special hardware or anything like that. And one of the massive key advantages is that sellers receive their money and they can use it straight away rather than the typical 3 business days that most merchants are used to with current payment software. Though we must cede the point that PayPal does tend to be pretty quick so far as modern solutions are concerned. But if we're gonna now, I'll take you quickly to our GitHub where you can actually have a look at the actual code. So this is the DNotes GitHub. The link to this will be in the description. And if you wanted to test this code or use it on your website, you could simply come down here. To modify it, you'll look at the address page here, and you would add in as many DNotes addresses as you like in this file. And then if we went back one, you would then come to the index page, and you'll see that the configuration part of the script is just 6 lines of code. So here we have, so these blue parts here are the parts that can be modified. And the first line is US dollars or notes. If it's set to 0, that means that you will use a US dollar denomination worth of DNotes. So you would say, I want to accept 10 US dollars worth of DNotes as payment. Or you could set it to 1, which would say, I want to accept a fixed amount of DNotes. The second line of the code is the price in either US dollars or DNotes. So in this case, we've got US dollars set, and the script is going to provide the user with 9.95 US dollars worth of DNotes, and it's just going to automatically show them the amount necessary. The third line is payment tolerance, so that's set to 0.1 at the moment. So let's say that somebody inputs the incorrect amount of DNotes that they were required to pay. So let's say they were supposed to pay 9.95 DNotes, but they go and pay 9.9 DNotes. The payment would still be accepted and the digital product would be released to the user. However, because it's within the tolerance range, however, if they sent 9.6 DNotes to me, it would be outside the tolerance range, and the payment would be, the goods would not be released. Then we have the download link part of the page, which is right here. So inside the quotations, you would just put the product download URL. And then we have the number of confirmations. So that's this little number here. And that's just the number of confirmations required on the network before the product will be released to the consumer. So the higher that number is, the more secure your payment will be, because the stakers have checked the blockchain for your transaction and verified it several times. However, even having that set to 0 should be more than enough in most cases. So and having it lower will be a lot faster. So if it's set to 0, it means the next block that is solved by the network will release the product to the consumer. And then within these quotation marks here, you can just add a brief description of the product that you're selling. And then all you have to do is upload this whole script to your web server, and then you can use the whole product. So if we just take a look at, this is how the scripts will actually work. We've used the 4 pillars of business success book as our example. So if we just come to the website and we click reserve our copy, we can see here we've got all the usual, add to cart and whatnot. But if we just click here to pay with DNotes, and we are brought to this page that we created right here, and you can see that we have pulled using an API from the CoinMarketCap website the exact number of DNotes needed to buy the book. And this is the cost in US dollars that it is equivalent to, and this part of the address that we need to send it to is the wallet address, and this little plus here signifies that we have an added invoice number, which is this part of the transaction here. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy the amount that we need to send, and we're going to go to our DNotes wallet, and we're going to throw that in there, and then we're going to copy both the wallet address that we're sending the payment to combined with the invoicing number by clicking copy here and then putting that there. And as you can see, I've got a label for book for it, and I'm going to press send, accept the fee, and we can now see the transaction has been broadcast over the blockchain down here. And now if I go back to our script screen, we're going to see that we have still down here a checking for payment with the DNotes logo rotating, and what that's going to be doing is it's just going to be scanning the blockchain to be informed that that payment has been made. Now I believe the current script that we're using on this page has a 1 minute confirmation or a one confirmation time, so that normally takes approximately 1 minute, and hopefully anytime soon we will be presented with a download link. And here we are. We have now been presented with a button that says the payment has been complete, and we can click here to download the file, and we go into it, and we now have the book Improve Your Odds, The Four Pillars of Business Success by Alan Young, and we can then read this whenever we like. Thank you very much everyone for watching this video. I hope it was helpful to you. If you would like to keep up to date with the latest DNotes news, then feel free to come to our website, which is www.dnotescoin.com. There you'll be able to find links to our white paper and download our wallet, along with other download links, a blog, and various ways that you can contact us. Otherwise, you can visit our company website, which is www.dnotesglobal.com, and there you'll be able to find a bunch of news and media information and links to our pitch deck, white paper, and other contact information. And of course, feel free to come and drop in and say hello at our forum. The link will be included at the description, and you can come along and just say what other videos you would like to see tutorials made for.